I do not think it is necessary to believe that the same God who has given us our senses, reason, and intelligence wished us to abandon their use, giving us by some other means the information that we could gain through them. Philosophy is written in that great book which ever lies before our eyes, I mean the universe, but we cannot understand it if we do not first learn the language and grasp the symbols in which it is written. In questions of science, the authority of 1,000 is not worth the humble reasoning of a single individual. With regard to matters requiring thought, the less people know and understand about them, the more positively they attempt to argue concerning them. See now the power of truth, the same experiment which at first glance seemed to show one thing, when more carefully examined, assures us of the contrary. In the future, there will be opened a gateway and a road to a large and excellent science into which minds more piercing than mine shall penetrate to recesses still deeper. Who indeed will set bounds to human ingenuity? Who will assert that everything in the universe capable of being perceived is already discovered and known? The greatness and the glory of God shine forth marvelously in all his works, and is to be read above all in the open book of the heavens. It vexes me when they would constrain science by the authority of the Scriptures, and yet do not consider themselves bound to answer reason and experiment. If you could see the earth illuminated when you were in a place as dark as night, it would look to you more splendid than the moon. I would beg the wise and learned fathers of the Church to consider with all diligence the difference which exists between matters of mere opinion and matters of demonstration. The Bible shows the way to go to heaven, not the way the heavens go. You cannot teach a person something he does not already know, you can only bring what he does know to his awareness. I think that in the discussion of natural problems we ought to begin not with the Scriptures, but with experiments and demonstrations. The greatest wisdom is to get to know oneself. There are those who reason well, but they are greatly outnumbered by those who reason badly. Measure what can be measured, and make measurable what cannot be measured. Some, merely to contradict what I had said, did not scruple to cast doubt upon things they had seen with their own eyes again and again. The sun, with all those planets revolving around it and dependent on it, can still ripen a bunch of grapes as if it had nothing else in the universe to do. Two truths cannot contradict one another. To be humane, we must ever be ready to pronounce that wise, ingenious and modest statement, I do not know. Nothing can be taught to a man, only it's possibly to help him to discover it inside. To understand the universe, you must understand the language in which it's written, the language of mathematics. I do not feel obliged to believe that the same God who has endowed us with senses, reason, and intellect has intended us to forego their use. Knowing thyself, that is the greatest wisdom. In the sciences, the authority of thousands of opinions is not worth as much as one tiny spark of reason in an individual man. I have never met a man so ignorant that I couldn't learn something from him. All truths are easy to understand once they are discovered, the point is to discover them. You can't teach anybody anything, only make them realize the answers are already inside them. The laws of nature are written by the hand of God in the language of mathematics.